So, you want to know the best builds for a Shinobi Striker, but don't want to figure out yourself? How lazy can you be? No, I'm just playing. You've actually come to the right place. Welcome back to another Shinobi Striker video, everybody. It is your boy Nappy, and in this one, we're going to be doing the advanced builds sequel to the beginner builds. If you guys didn't know, Shinobi Striker has many shapes and sizes to builds, how to use them, and how to win with them. But some builds are always, and I mean always, going to be better than the others. But what are builds? Well, a build consists of 2 jutsus, your ninja tool, your weapon, your ultimate, and your substitution. And your class, I guess, but we already know that. Wait, now you want to know what a role is? Oh, you're asking too. Yeah, don't worry about him. He's just tripping. A role is something that you choose to be, whether it's attacker, range, defense, or healer. There are only 4. And each one has its own diverse way to play the game. So no matter which one you choose, hopefully you take away something from this video. But without further ado, let's get right into it. So our first class today is going to be the attack role. This role is basically defined by claws. So many people have complained, so many people have wanted claws to be nerfed, but it will never ever happen. Why? Because they need roles to be balanced. Claws are needed, but I would say some jutsus really don't make it that balanced with the attack class. But enough of that ranting stuff. The first build is going to be Dynamic Entry and Obito Garuma. Dynamic Entry is a jutsu from the My Guy DLC, and it's a move where you do a flying kick through the air, just like Guy did in the actual series. And it gives you a defense boost and does mad damage to someone. Plus, you can pick up someone in a combo if they get splatted on a wall. Our second jutsu is going to be the Obito Garuma. This jutsu is heavily used for one reason and one reason only. It can steal your girl, do your taxes, take a shower, and work your job all in the same day. In all seriousness though, it can reset someone's substitution, reset your combo, and to top it off, it gives you a Swift Step buff, all at the cost of a 9-second cooldown. Broken, right? They had to update it just a little bit to where it doesn't come back until the Swift Step buff goes away. Even then though, it is one of the best jutsus for attacker. Now I know you guys are thinking why this combination, but I want you to try out this build yourself and see how well you do with it. No matter what weapon, what ninja tool, or ultimate, anything works. Yeah. As for your ultimate, literally anything works, but you have to be mindful of the mode that you're playing. So if it's base battle, Kurama Link mode, combat, Koto Amatsukami or level 3, flag battle, any of those work. Koto is the strongest, of course. The next build is going to involve Obito Garuma again, but we're adding Imperial Wrath instead. Now, if you guys were not here for when Kawaki came out, this jutsu is still an absolute demon, but it was an even bigger demon before. The reason being is because it's basically a Hazan strike. Once you hit someone with the first stage of the jutsu, it takes away their substitution. Then it has a second stage butter knife where you can cut someone and put them into a hard stun animation. Your ninja tool and weapon don't matter as well. Your ultimate does not matter as well. Use the same 3 as mentioned before. Our next role will be the range type. Like I mentioned previously, 2 styles to play this, aggressive or ranged. You play the type. Both work, just make sure that you adapt these to your playstyle. So our first build is going to be the Inferno style Flame Control and Majestic Destroyer Flame. Inferno style Flame Control is earned through the Sasuke Uchiha VR Master, the normal one, not Boruto. So it's free of charge. But the Majestic Destroyer Flame is DLC from Madara Uchiha. The reason these 2 work so well together is because you can flame control somebody and that'll give them a defense debuff if it connects. However, beforehand, I would recommend doing damage with Senbon first. Then you can finish them off with a Majestic and it'll more than likely kill them in a single combo. As for your ultimate, you can use anything, but I'm using Shikigami Dance Storm. This ultimate will prevent the healer from doing extraction, which can help lead your team to a lot more kills. Our second build is going to be the Infernal style Flame Lightning, and for the second jutsu it's Amaterasu. Now I know you guys are wondering why Double Burn would be a good build in general, right? However, let's stop a second to consider what else we could use with this. Do you have your answer? I do. The Crimson Star. It's going to be our ninja tool for today and the best to use with this build. The Crimson Star is basically a Demon Wind Shuriken on crack that spins around and does damage to people who are inside of it. You can combine this with Infernal style Flame Lightning or Amaterasu to make sure you get a lot of damage in. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you what VR Master. Make sure you guys purchase the Sasuke Boruto DLC for this one. Amaterasu is obtained from Itachi, the normal one. Your ultimate can be anything as well. I'm using Kamui Shuriken though because I just like doing damage, I guess. Now enough of those me head rolls, let's move on to the support. Our first one is going to be defense, which as I mentioned before can be both DPS and support, which we're going to be doing both of with these builds I'm going to give you guys. The first one is going to be Uchiha Flame Formation and 8 trigrams Hazan Strike. Uchiha Flame Formation is obtained through the Obito Uchiha DLC, you'll have to buy him, as well as Neji. The reason that these 2 work so well together is because you can protect your team with Uchiha Flame Formation, literally one of the most broken team fight jutsus in the world. And the reason I have on Hazan Strike is to to make sure that you can take away the sub of whoever you're on. For our ninja tool though, this is what ties it all together, which is going to be the cooling breeze. After you Hazan strike someone and put them into a combo, tanks always, and I mean always, like the cooling breeze so they can pick you up for an extra combo. How do they do that with the cooling breeze? Well, the problem with the cooling breeze is that it picks you up at frame 0 on your get up. As long as you're within the radius, you're definitely going to be knocked into a stun animation, which anyone can use to combo you. So if you haven't gotten this ninja tool yet, make sure you pick this up the next time it comes around in the shop, because I can personally tell you that I use this on every single roll. Our next build is more of the advanced for base battle users, so if you want to know what build to run on base, there are a multitude of things that you can run. However, I just recently changed up the meta for people, for basically all tanks in SPL / tanks who like to play in general. If you guys didn't know about this, I'm about to put you onto something crazy. Try out the weighted seals on your ninja tool. It's basically like a triangle off the base, except it does a lot more than just triangle you off the base. If someone actually manages to mess up on your team and walks into a weighted seal on the enemy team, you're all going to be knocked off the base, whoever is in the radius of it. Your secret technique gauge will go down a little bit, and you get put into a super weighted boulder like state. Broken, right? However, if you don't like playing like that, you can always use the purple lightning tool. If you are following along with me though, use these jutsus to maximize its potential. Rotation and mud wall jutsu. Now I know you're wondering why mud wall jutsu is even being mentioned here. If you haven't checked out my earth style is now meta in Shinobi Striker video, make sure you watch that. That is the main reason why people like to use mud wall on base battle now. It gets you your ultimate really fast as long as people are being hit by it when it breaks. Then I put on rotation to basically counter the weighted seals if someone else is using it against you, and it'll also give you an anchor to stay on the base because you don't have purple lighting tool. As for the ultimate, I'd recommend anything, actually I'm capping, whatever you want, but the most versatile one is Mist. It may not be a killing ult, however it blinds the enemies, increases your attack power, and allows your teammates to rotate freely. The last class for today is going to be the healer, and I know you guys are excited about this one. For all my healer mains out there, pay heed. Like I mentioned before, healer role requires you to have some form of heals on the battlefield, but there are specific builds that healers are always using in the comp scene that allow them to be a cut above the rest just because of the jutsus. So our first build is going to be Super Light and Boulder and Cellular Extraction Jutsu. Make sure you're using the Healing Tag Type 2 Ninja Tool. Your weapon can be anything. You get the Super Light and Boulder DLC from Onuki, and Cellular Extraction Jutsu you get from base Sakura Haruno. The reason why you should be running Super Light and Boulder Jutsu instead of any other one is solely because they updated it to be really OP in this one patch. Make sure you guys write all these down. If they're all within your vicinity, all your teammates including yourself will get a swift step buff, an increase in at least 10% of your secret technique gauge, and you'll get a slight ninjutsu cooldown scroll. Now if that ain't OP, I don't know what is. Lastly, for the ultimate, you can be using anything like Feather Illusion Jutsu, Izanami, or even the Infinite Tsukuyomi, most of which are DLC except for the Feather Illusion. You can get that from Kabuto, he's in the base game. Our next build is going to be the Yasaka no Magatama, also known as the Yasaka Beads. This jutsu may have a really long cooldown, but the properties of it are so incredible it makes up for it entirely. Just think of it as a Tosca blade that does no damage, but it does damage on its second part where it throws something. Oh, by the way, you get this from the reanimated Itachi DLC. So when the Susanoo throws the Yasaka bead at someone, it does a decent chunk of damage. To healers, it's about like 25%, 30, give or take. Range the same. Attackers about 20%, tanks about like 15% because they're just some beefy fuckers, you know? The next jutsu is the same, which is Cellular Extraction Jutsu. Heal tag, don't matter for the weapon. Your ultimate can be anything as well. However, in this game, I ran long distance since it's base battle. Now that you guys know everything in the game that is advanced and really good in the game, hopefully you guys will apply this to your gameplay, learn to use the builds correctly, and then come up with your own builds that are just OP. But I have done my job for today. Make sure you guys go ahead and drop a like, comment, and sub on the video if you enjoyed. I'll be seeing you guys later. You guys have a wonderful day and stay safe.